This is a supplemental lecture. It occurred to me after I finished the one on marking sentence boundaries that really I haven't spent any time talking about coordinating adverbs, and they're one really good way of joining sentences. So this is a short lecture addressing that gap. So coordinating adverbs on that table that you saw in the first lecture this week, they're the fifth type of word with which we can combine independent clauses. I should say that differently. We had two words that could combine them: coordinating adverbs, coordinating conjunctions, and three kinds of punctuation: semicolons, colons, and periods. So with coordinating coordinating adverbs, there's a lot more variety than with the coordinating conjunctions. You remember there were just 7 of them. These, I can't remember all of them, but common ones are things like however, nevertheless, therefore, moreover, thus, then even can function as a coordinating adverb. Also things like for instance, of course. So some phrasal ones too. For example, what all these things have in common is that they need to join two independent clauses, but they have different punctuation rules. So the other tricky thing about coordinating adverbs, which makes them actually really good, is that they can be used to begin a single independent clause. So the one independent clause can be the whole sentence. I'm not going to focus on them very much, but it's good to know that it's not an error if you see a coordinating adverb at the beginning of a sentence and that there's only one clause in it. So whenever you're joining two independent clauses into a single sentence using a coordinating adverb, there are two strict rules. There is a semicolon before the independent clause in which the coordinating adverb occurs, and then there's a comma after the coordinating adverb. So I'm going to show you examples of these rules applied strictly with the coordinating adverb right at the beginning of the second independent clause. And so it's joining two independent clauses, and then I'm going to show you some variations on the theme. But these rules are solid, they do not change. First sentence. So two of these sentences are true, by the way. The third one is false. I've never lived in Manhattan in my life. I like living in the US, however, my sister prefers England. So we know that what the meaning of however is. It sort of juxtaposes two things in adjacent independent clauses. So we see the independent clause at the beginning with I as the subject and like as the tensed verb. Then we have a semicolon at the end of that first independent clause. It comes right before the coordinating adverb. Then there's a comma after the coordinating adverb, and then we proceed with the second independent clause. Same in the second bullet point. I like all kinds of cheese, semicolon, coordinating adverb, comma. I had a delicious cloth-bound cheddar yesterday. It was so good, by the way. It was an excellent cheese. So you see, again, two independent clauses, coordinating adverb, a semicolon ends the first independent clause, and there is a comma after the coordinating adverb. Same in the third one. So take a look, pause if you need to. What we're going to look at now is some variations on this theme. So we can move coordinating adverbs around. They don't have to occur at the beginning of the second independent clause, unlike, say, a coordinating conjunction, which always has to go right at the beginning. So we see I put it after the subject, so in between the subject and the verb of the second independent clause. The subject is my sister, the verb is prefers, and however occurs between those two. Now what's important is we still have the semicolon at the beginning of that second independent clause, and then the coordinating adverb is set off with two commas. One comma before, one comma after. This is very important. There is an error if you don't have the two commas. So we have to add extra punctuation if you want to move things around, but it's fine. You just have to know you need to add the extra punctuation. We can also put them at the end of a sentence, or the end of a clause rather. I like all kinds of cheese. I had a delicious cloth-bound cheddar yesterday, for instance. So again, semicolon between the two independent clauses. Then before the coordinating adverb, we have a comma, and then of course the sentence ends with a period. So we replace that second comma with a period. The third way we can do it is we can put the coordinating adverb after the verb phrase, so after the subject and the verb phrase. And this, what I mean by verb phrase, is the verb and its object. So it's a little bit of an extended definition. You can try it out with different things. You will have intuitions about where these can go and can't go. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time with 1,000 different kinds of verbs and stuff. What you need to know, or what I need to tell you, more to the point, is about the semicolon, and once again we see doesn't matter where the coordinating adverb occurs in this second independent clause, it has to be set off with 2 commas. And in next week we're going to spend more time talking about commas in preparation for the final exam, but this is one of the really important uses of commas. So to sum that up, when you're moving the coordinating adverb around, the punctuation will stay the same, but there is an extra comma, one that goes before the coordinating adverb. So some of the questions in quiz number 7 address coordinating adverb rules. So I hope you've looked at this lecture before you tried quiz 7. If not, and if you want me to reset the quiz so you have a better chance, let me know. Tell me why. This is all the ways of joining independent clauses are explained in detail in chapter 2 of your textbook. So take a look at that if you're still confused. All right, see you in lecture 3. 2, one of them. I don't know. I've lost count.